What's good, everybody? Drew, episode 2, random film shit. Roll them film credits. So this is my whole setup right now. This is where we at. It's kind of ratchet. Got a backlight because of my DP. James told me to get a backlight, so I put a backlight behind there. Hope that looks better for y'all. And welcome back. Episode 2 of the vlog, random film shit. Anybody tuning in, I'm so appreciative of you. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Plug this, plug that. Let's get to the whole purpose of why we are here. To go over some of the equipment I use and really to talk about sound. It is one of the most important, if not the most important thing about filmmaking. The first thing I want to talk to you all about very, very briefly is the camera that I use. This is the Canon C100. Right now it's on autofocus and I'm telling you, it's amazing. Look, so fast, back. What? I love this autofocus. It has a built-in ND filter, exposure, like lines. It has a waveform, peaking, zebra lines, all that. It's a professional grade camera that can produce broadcast quality imagery. It's been the main camera that I use just in general on all my production, from weddings to films and more. It's really versatile. The only thing that I guess would be a drawback for indie videographers are those who are also photographers. This can take photos, but it's not a photo camera. It's not a photography camera. It's primarily video. Oh yeah, I'm done talking about this camera, by the way. I'm not going into a deep dive on the specs or anything, yeah. So when you're just starting out and you're an independent entrepreneur in this filmmaking or video production game, I honestly do not believe it is about the camera. Invest in your niche. Ooh, that should be a hashtag.
Invest in your niche.
If I would have known what I know now back in 2017 or back in 2011 when I really started doing all of this, I would have initially invested more into the sound and lighting and all that good stuff. But I will say on the flip side, the advantages to having those higher priced cameras are that, you have things like ND filters. You have more control over your image on set, so that gives you better value in post. The higher value cameras, yes, if you can, go ahead and get it. If you have the resources to upgrade, do it. But if you're budgeting and you're trying to figure out whether you should get the latest camera versus a cheaper camera and some audio or good lighting, I always choose audio first, if that's kind of what you're in line and what you're doing. Me, I'm trying to start a whole production company. So I might need cameras, I might need audio, I might need lighting, I might need editing software, multiple computers, multiple monitors, travel cases for all of this stuff, etc., etc. But if your main focus is in videography, you might want to focus on just a video camera and just getting things that can help you shoot clean videos, and then network and find someone else that does audio, find someone that does editing, so that your main focus would be on your camera and a lighting kit, so that when you go to these video sets as a videographer, you're prepared, you're ready. And then you can always have a line item for audio and bring in your audio friends to run audio and have someone else do the editing, if that's kind of your goal. You're not just going to be able to be one thing in this indie industry. So that's why most of us are multi-talented. We can do shooting, editing, sound mixing, because you kind of have to. You never know what a client's needs will be, and you don't want to always have to defer your potential client to someone else. You want to learn as much as you can about them all. But if you know what your niche is, that's what you invest most of your money into. So, say all that to say, wrapping back around here, this camera was, yes, it was a little expensive, but I spent more money over the years into my audio, because I know almost any HD camera, DSLR or otherwise, can give a pretty decent sharp image if you know what you're doing and the settings on the camera. You cannot always have good audio no matter how dope your camera skills are. James has his camera, he has lights, and he has power for all of those things. So he has multiple cameras, multiple lights, and plugs, because he knows his main niche is videography, cinematography. I always say you should always learn as much of the industry as you can, but if that's your niche, that's your niche. And if you can't afford a high-end camera, fuck it. Don't get a high-end camera. What you should invest in are classes you can find online, or you can go to a community college or something and just take a class on lighting. Learn about photography and how exposure works, why you should use the actual aperture of your camera versus ISO. Invest in the learning that would cost you maybe a few $100s versus spending a couple thousand on a camera that you can still create trashy shit with. You can still make trashy shit with a $10,000 camera. I mean, have we not seen fucking Avatar? That movie was fucking trash. And I'm not even an Avatar fan. That last Airbender shit, who decided to do that? Get an inexpensive DSLR camera. I'm telling you, like $500-$600, maybe a little less. Get a lighting kit and invest all of the rest of your money into some awesome, dope sound equipment. You can go Rode if you're trying to be a little bit more budget friendly. I haven't had any issues with Rode, but again, I'm not an expert yet, so I can't really tell you something about the sound floor and shit like that. But what I personally use for my films primarily are Sennheiser mics. Those are a little bit more expensive. And if you can't afford audio equipment and you can only afford a camera and some lights, network. Go to these community events where there are people who have this equipment, who have audio equipment, and invite them to your sets. Most of us independent artists, unless we're super freaking busy, are willing to work on sets for little to no fucking money. Some people will even do it for half off. I have a friend. Oh, shout out to Esmeralda, one of the best sound people in Charlotte, in the world. She's dope. She will yell at you though. I should have put on her. I should have put on her shirt. This is a vlog about sound, and I didn't put on her shirt. My bad, Esmo. Now, I'm gonna go pull up my handy dandy audio tool case. Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is this boom mic. Sennheiser. Look at that autofocus. So amazing. So again, most of my equipment is Sennheiser affiliated. Sennheiser mics are awesome. They pick up very, very great audio quality. A directional boom mic. What is this? I'm not gonna go over the specs. I don't know shit about these specs. I just know it sounds really fucking great, okay? If you want specs, go to bnhphotovideo.com or something. One of the most important items in here though is this Zoom box. Okay, not the box, but the recorder. This Zoom recorder has 4 XLR inputs, and you can manually control them here. The one I used before this was called the Zoom H4n, which is also awesome. This just gives me, and you per se, possibly, more control. And it's a little bit easier to use. The only thing I dislike about this is if you're really, really novice, or just like me and just haven't invested in an audio tool belt yet, these knobs are really easy to turn. So for example, one day I was filming a spoken word with my videographer James, and so he had to have the audio in his like pocket or whatever, so he would record it, put it in his pocket, and then when I got home to listen to the spoken word, every other take the audio would go in and out. It kept rubbing against these knobs. That's why you always need like a tool belt. Invest in a tool belt, you know what I'm saying? Put around your waist. Put the audio in there, boom, 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 you can see all the knobs, no issue. The boom is about to enter the building. This Zoom can run on phantom power, which is amazing. And the boom itself can run on a battery if you needed to. Okay, so I turned it down, and now we're at that -32, between -32, -18 dBs, which is kind of low, so we want to turn it up a little bit. Going here to 4. And now we're getting that -18 to -12, or right below -12. And somewhere at -18, a little higher, a little lower. Pretty good bass, so that if they get too loud, you won't lose the audio and they get kind of low. it won't go too low to where you can't fix it in post. It's really easy to record. Just hit this red dot and hit record right here. You can easily play, pause, stop it, all that good stuff. You have 4 main channels, which are the 4 XLR ports. And then you have left and right. You can install an additional XLR port or additional 2 with this. All comes in the same package. And now you have 2 more XLR ports, all controlled with the knobs here. It also comes with this, which you can also install on the top. It's basically a mic for the recorder. And if you're really in a run and gun situation and you just really need to get some audio, you'll just be like, you'll just change this to left and right, adjust this knob right here for this mic audio. Right now it's coming in, not too bad. I'll turn it to a 5, I'll record. And now you're hearing me from the Zoom. I've been looking at my monitor screen, it's crazy. But now you'll be hearing me from the Zoom mic itself. Again, I'm not an expert, so I'm not exactly sure what these 2 things do. I know you can twist them and turn them. They do some 90-degree and 120-degree angle shit. I don't know exactly what that does, but this is the audio I'm getting right now, and they're both at 90 degrees or something. So, yeah. So that's all I'm gonna say about this right now. There's not too much to really get into. I mean, yes there is. I can unbox this if y'all want me to. Let me know in the comments and I can go into a deep dive into this recorder if you want me to. We also have headphones. Very important. A blimp. Ha. Great for outdoor windy days and indoor noisy days. Like if you're in a restaurant and there's a lot of background noise or refrigerator noise or whatever it is. Blimps are awesome. I have wind chills or dead cats for that too. Not an actual dead cat. Tiger's okay. The cat from the very first video, the intro video, she's good. I also have in here my wireless Sennheiser mics in these Ziploc bags. They have really good sound quality, and they have little small wind chills too, so you're not getting too much background noise. 2 AA batteries power them. On and off is right in the battery compartment. Just hold it, turn it on, and hold it, turn it off. This needs 4 batteries to be powered on, or you can use the DC adapter. Just a pro tip, whenever you're doing any type of shooting and you have access to power, always use power. Never run on battery power unless you really freaking have to. Never waste batteries. I do use rechargeable batteries for most of my audio equipment, but why use them if you have the opportunity to plug your equipment in to a jack or something, or to an outlet, and then let it run off of that power, so you're not wasting your batteries. When I first started doing weddings, I could not for the life of me understand or figure out how to get that good, perfect sounding audio, how it sounds like it's coming from the actual event. When I first started, I thought all I needed was a camera, wireless lavs, onboard light, and some wheels for my tripod. Then I'd be good to go. Now, camera-wise, I might be okay. Shooting-wise, I might be okay. Audio-wise, not okay at all. So after like my 3rd or 4th wedding, I was listening to the audio quality. I was like, I'm using mics, I'm using my boom for the toast, because for receptions, I had no idea. Like, you can just randomly mic someone up when they're just now getting on stage. So I did a quick YouTube video search, and I found out that people were using equipment that they would hook into the DJ booth that would then hook into the recorder. And at that time, I had the H4n, and I had an XLR cable, but not all DJ booths would work with the XLR cable. So I went online, did some more research, and I now have 3 ways to hook into the DJ booth if I ever need to. So whether you're doing a party, an event, corporate, this is what I used for Usher's event, to capture his event when he was outside in Atlanta. Anything where there's a DJ and there will be speeches or something. I do not exactly know what to call these. Well, I'm getting better at the terminology, I should say. This is a 1/4 inch. And what I would do with this is hook this into the DJ booth's 1/4 inch out. Remember, it's out. I never knew exactly how to ask the DJ for what I wanted. So I would always typically go to the DJ and be like, hey, I have these chords. I need your audio to go into my recorder. I don't know how to do that though. And then they'll figure it out. But now I know what to say. When I'm using this cord, I can say I have a 1/4 inch that needs to go into your 1/4 out, so I can put this into my recorder. So they will hook this in to their 1/4 inch out, and boom, I'm getting whatever the DJ is playing, including what's being spoken on the mics in here. If they don't have a 1/4 inch, and actually this is the cord I'd rather use anyway, and I'll tell you why in a second. If they do not have a 1/4 inch, or if you go with this one cord first, oh man, I always fail at explaining what these two cords are. It's basically like those red, yellow, and white cords you used when you were plugging up the PS2 or whatever to the TV. It's basically that. And most DJs know exactly where to put this when you say that, okay? But I don't know how to explain it, because again, I ain't shit. It is what it is. But I'll pretty much go and see if they have an out. Remember, ask for an out. You need their music to go out to this cord. Plug this into their station, and then you will hook these two XLRs into your recorder's XLR outputs or inputs. Now, why do I like this cord better than this and the XLR? Because it gives me the opportunity to run 2 channels at one time. So now, instead of just getting one audio and having to monitor it pretty much the entire time and changing it every time there's music and changing it every time there's speeches, I can leave one way low and one way up or up for like how people sound when they actually speak. So you see here, I have this top one. I have this top one at like 2. So that when music is playing, it's not that loud. It's going to be normal. And I have this bottom one at like 5 or 6. So that when there are actually speeches, you can actually hear them and it's not going to be low. So I would always recommend using this. I'll find a link and post it to what this actually is. This is so convenient. It's so important and so handy. This really upped the production value for my weddings once I started just plugging them in, and it changed everything. It was night and day.
I tell you, I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of the woman that you are, and the mom that you are, and the best friend that I've always wanted, and I got. I want to say thank God for giving me you, because you have always been there for me when I didn't have not even my family.
It's been a long time coming, and just like my mom said last night, she taught me to pray my whole life for the man that God would pick out for me. And my prayer every day now is that God would just continue to grow me into the woman that not only I need to be for Marcus, but the woman that God would need me to be for His glory.
So at that point I thought, okay, I'm good. I got wireless lavs. I hooked right into the DJ station. I don't need anything else. So then on my very last wedding in July, so I did one last month, and I kept getting interference into my wireless lavs, and this has happened before, and I've had to finesse and tweak the audio, and I'm thinking, this has to happen to other people. How do they always get clear audio? How are y'all doing this? Why is this happening to me? So then I started another YouTube search. And this guy was talking about he uses actual recorders. And guess what? That's what I'm using right now. Woo! I've been recording for almost an hour. Good God. This is what I'm using right now. This is the Tascam DR-10L recorder. This is actually what I used during the Usher event too, to capture impromptu interviews and capturing people walking around outside. Put this in their pocket, clip them up, and let them talk for like 10 seconds about their experience. And as you can see, here, this mic is awesome. And it's so convenient. Not just for the lazy who don't feel like monitoring the audio, but you can do with this, what I can do with the recorder, with the XLR inputs. You can set it so that you're capturing audio at a medium or medium high level, but you're also doing a separate recording which is capturing the audio at 6 dBs or or 12 dBs lower. So you're having 2 audio inputs. As long as your placement of the mic is fine, it's not rubbing up against a lot of shit, you're going to get clear audio, and one that's going to be louder and one that's going to be softer. So if someone during a ceremony is ever just yelling for some reason, it won't peak. You won't get that distorted audio sound. Oh, when I say peak, that means going so loud it hits the red, or you hear that distortion in the voice and there's nothing you can do about it. But it's loud enough so that it's not so low, whereas in post, when you have to raise it up, you're not going to get so much of that noise floor. This is a godsend. I just ordered one more. I had 2, and I just ordered one more. I'm doing a wedding on the 17th, and I want to mic up. Well, the bride would be cool to mic up, but normally I mic up the groom and the officiant. But I also want to mic up the father of the bride, because I never capture the audio of them giving the bride away. These have come in handy the last month or so that I've had them. They last hella long. They take 2 AAA batteries, but they last for so freaking long. It's really easy to figure out. The menu is really simple. I would recommend this to any and everyone, even if you're not doing weddings. This is perfect for documentaries. I use this as the backup microphone during Usher's interview, just in case. And honestly, just because I wanted to see how it sounded compared to the Sennheiser. Sennheiser still had a clearer signal, but I think that was because of its placement more so. But these mics are just awesome, and you don't have to worry about interference because it's hooked right into the recorder. The only scary part is you can't hear it. So what if they are hitting their chest? What if they are ruffling their clothes? You can't hear that, so you can't tell them. So that's a drawback. So I would say primarily for documentaries and films, or not films, but for documentaries, this could be used as a backup only. You pretty much have them mic'd up with your lavs that are hooked into your recorder, and with this, just in case the recorder lavs have too much interference and you don't notice until post. Then you have good backup audio. So we've been discussing the audio that I used and slightly about why, but we've all seen and heard films that felt bad. You're not always going to understand why you don't like something, even if something is shot bad. If it sounds good, it has a better quality. It at least emits a better quality than if it just has terrible audio. If you could barely understand me or hear me right now, if this was all you could hear, and you would tune out in the first 2 or 3 seconds. Audio is the most important thing, as far as I'm concerned. I didn't always get this. My very first film, Death Wish, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the audio. Even though we were monitoring it, I didn't give it too much attention. I just kind of let it be what it was. And then in post, you're hearing all these different audio sounds, and it's just like, man, what are you doing? Why did you do this? So that was my first experience with audio, and ever since then, that was 2015, I think. And ever since then, I've just been trying to build and get better at not only getting better equipment, but just learning what's really important. And I'm still learning what's really important, what's more important. I'll go right back to what I said earlier in this video. It's not about the camera. If you can learn the intricacies of photography, cinematography, you can get decent lights and get really good audio equipment, you can make anything look like the big screen movies. You don't need a high-end camera to make high-end style films or videos. Invest more of your money and time, if you need to, in audio. If you have it like that, you got the resources, you don't need to worry about money, man, get a high-end camera. Don't not get it just because I'm saying you don't need it. Get it because it does make life easier. There are benefits to having higher-end cameras. Many benefits. I can't afford the higher-end cameras right now, but I'm certain. I know just by the C100, it's not cheap. It's just cheaper than a lot of the higher-end cameras. The C200, for example, was like $2,000 or $3,000 more than this one, but it has 4K, and it has all these other features that would benefit me as far as using it. But I didn't think, and I still don't think I needed to go that route. At least not then, not just then. Invest in your niche. Make that a hashtag, y'all. Share this video. Hashtag invest in your niche. If you connect with people and you develop a relationship It won't even be a question. You'll just say, hey, I'm working on this project. Do you want to help? And they'll say, yeah, I'm down with it. And then just let them know up front it's no budget. And then if they say okay, then it's lit. And of course, don't get mad at those who don't want to work with you for free. That's always tacky, trashy. Not everyone, a lot of people have been in the game for a long ass time, okay? Not all of us are okay with working for free. I don't care how close we are, okay? Okay? Some of us don't want to work for free. Some of us need money. Thank y'all. Again, I really appreciate those who take time to watch these vlogs. Many more are coming. Remember this, hashtag invest in your niche. This is Andrew, Nova Niche Films. We out of here, signing out. Deuce.